Welcome back. Got another deck tech for that sweet ass. This one's going to be mono black zombies. This is my personal zombie deck that I put together, and it works pretty damn good. Let's get started. First off, you're going to run with just 23 basic lands. I'm sure there's got to be an upgrade for this with some kind of land, but I haven't done it yet. So 23 basic lands. Now let's get down into the dirty. Dread Wanderer. Dread Wanderer enters the battlefield tapped. It only takes 1 to bring out. For 3, return Dread Wanderer from your graveyard to the battlefield. We want to be able to bring stuff back from the graveyard so we can keep assaulting our opponent, basically. A barrage of zombies, if you will. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery and only if you have 1 or fewer cards in hand. It's a 2/1. Pretty damn good card. It's a 1-drop, which is why it's in this deck. We need a lot of quick 1-drops to get this deck really kicking into high gear. Next, we have a Gravecrawler, a zombie staple. Gravecrawler's only 1 black mana to bring out. Gravecrawler can't block, so keep that in mind. You may cast Gravecrawler from your graveyard as long as you control a zombie. We are running 4 of these, so he just comes back again and again and again unless he's sent into exile, which is pretty phenomenal. That's why he's in there. He's a 1-drop. Diregraph Ghoul. It's a 1-drop as well. Another reason it's in the deck. It's also a 2/2. Diregraph Ghoul enters the battlefield tapped. It's a deuce zombie. We're running only 2 of these. Crypt Breaker almost didn't make the deck, but I think it's going to serve a purpose. Because we have a lot of zombies that can come back from the graveyard, or zombies which can bring back creatures from the graveyard, we're going to run just 1 Crypt Breaker. It's only 1 to bring out. For deuce, tap it. Discard a card, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. Tap 3 untapped zombies you control. You draw a card and you lose 1 life. Now, this deck doesn't have any life gain abilities. Well, there's 1, but it's in the sideboard. We'll get to that in a minute. So that's why only 1 Crypt Breaker is in here. Plus, it's also a 1-drop. It's a zombie. Get him out of the field quick. Relentless Dead. It's 2 to bring out. It has Menace, which you're going to see this deck is built around Menace. And Death Touch. It's coming. When Relentless Dead dies, you may pay a swamp. If you do, return it to its owner's hand. When Relentless Dead dies, you may pay X. If you do, return another target zombie creature card with converted mana cost X from your graveyard to the battlefield. This is why he's in here. We're bringing stuff back from the dead. We just want a relentless assault. We are going to run 3 Relentless Deads. I had 4 in here, but it kicked 1 out. Didn't make the deck. Sorry, Relentless Dead. Lord of the Undead. All zombies get +1/+1. It's 3 to bring out. For deuce, tap it. Return target zombie card from your graveyard to your hand. It's a deuce. If I didn't already say that, I did now. Lord of the Undead, it's a zombie. It's considered a zombie. It says Lord on here, but it's a zombie. Returning zombies from the graveyard to our hand is big. The Crypt Breaker, especially, only because we benefit from that. And we're going to want to utilize that ability. For darn sure. He's huge because he's giving all your creatures +1/+1. And he's able to come back with some creatures. I'm running 3 of them. He's not able to come back, but the creatures are able to come back from the dead. Lord of the Accursed. Other zombies you control get +1/+1. This is huge. It's only 3 to bring out. For deuce, tap it. All zombies gain menace until end of turn. It's a 2/3. We're going to want to give our creatures menace. That way, the enemy has a lot of shit to block. Or he has a lot of shit to block. He's going to have to be blocking 2 creatures. That's what Menace does. If I attack with 1 creature that has Menace, 2 creatures have to block it, at least 2, in order for it to be blocked, otherwise it goes right through. We are running 4 Lord of the Accursed because he's that important to this deck. Next on the battlefield, we have Death Baron. It's 3 to bring out. Creature Zombie Wizard. Skeleton creatures you control and other zombie creatures you control get +1/+1 and have Death Touch. It's a 2/2. Giving our creatures Menace and Death Touch, that's phenomenal. That's just gonna wreak havoc. Just imagine attacking with just one card with Death Touch and Menace. So instantly something's going to die on their side of the field, and they're all going to be beefed up. We're running 2 Death Barons. He's probably one of the more expensive cards in this deck. Geralf's Messenger, another staple for zombies. Geralf's Messenger, it's 3 to bring out. It enters the battlefield tapped. When Geralf's Messenger enters the battlefield, target opponent loses 2 life. That's why he's up in here. Undying. So what Undying is, this is insane. A lot of wolves have this ability also. When this creature dies, if it had no +1/+1 counters on it, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. It's a 3/2. So once it dies, goes into the graveyard, we're just going to bring that shit right back. Bam! And it's going to deal its 2 damage yet again to its opponent. So that's 4 damage this one card is going to deal. Not only, well, if it's killed, not only that, but it's a 3/2. It's going to come back a 4/3. And we're going to put +1/+1s on it, menace, all types of craziness. This thing's going to be a pain in the rear. We're running 3 Geralf's Messengers. Sick card. Undead War Chief. We are running 1 Undead War Chief. It's 4 to bring out. Zombie spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Zombie creatures you control get +2/+1. That's why he's up in here. +2/+1 with menace. Holy smokes. We're going to make our zombies we're going to pump them to all, I want to say to all crap. We're going to pump them to all hell, buddy. That's what we're going to do. We're going to let loose in the caboose. It's only a 1/1, so it's easy to kill, but great card. One of those. What? Phyrexian Obliterator. You said it. You know why? It's only 4. We're running mono. We're doing mono black. 4 swamps to bring out. It is a horror, though. Not a zombie, but it has trample. Whenever a source deals damage to Phyrexian Obliterator, that source's controller sacrifices that many permanents. It's a 5/5. The goal of this deck is to overwhelm the opponent. Whether he has to sacrifice creatures, whether we're going to remove his creatures, or we're going to make it so we're overwhelming him and by creatures that have Death Touch and Menace. So we want to have some card control here. And that's why Phyrexian Obliterator is in here. We're only running 1 of him in this deck. By the way, this deck has won plenty of times. I have not fought anyone that's extremely, extremely competitive, but I have fought some people that are competitive with this deck, and it ended up winning about 2 out of 3, which is pretty damn good. It's a really quick deck. And it also screws your opponent when you're removing cards from their hand, making them discard, bringing stuff back. It's just a mess to deal with, especially that Menace and Death Touch. Thoughtseizes is a 1-drop. Target player reveals his or her hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. You lose 2 life. Because we don't have much lifelink, there's only 1 card in the sideboard that has any lifelink. We're only running 1 of these Thoughtseizes. It's just a great card, and the price has gone down on this puppy, so great card. Fatal Push, of course. We're going to want to destroy creatures early on, so our menace is utilized to its finest. For 1, destroy target creature if it has converted mana cost 2 or less. Revolt, destroy that creature if it has converted mana cost 4 or less, instead of a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn. Because we're just going to be assaulting them nonstop, a barrage of just zombies coming at them, we're going to be losing creatures as well, but we're going to be bringing them suckers right back, and Fatal Push is a great way to go. We're only running 2 of those, though. Now, this card, ultimate price, can be swapped out. It's a 2-drop, destroy target mono-colored creature. You can swap this out with some other removal spells. They're also in the sideboard. Verduce, destroy target mono-colored creature. Very simple, straight to the point. Now, if they're running, obviously, a multicolored deck, you're going to run into some issues. So this could be sideboarded, but for right now, it's just in the main board because that's the last person I played. They had a monocolored deck. We're running 3 ultimate prices just for some removal. Wrench Mind. I love Wrench Mind. I love it to pieces. It's deuce to bring out. Target player discards 2 cards from his or her hand unless he or she discards an artifact card from his or her hand. What is the sound of one head snapping? I think that dude's experiencing that. Oh no, it's already broke. I'm sorry. This is a great card. It's a discard staple for darn sure. It's cheap, and it's going to wear down our opponent rather quickly. We drop this. We got the menace out. I mean, they're not going to... It's card advantage, people. It's card advantage. We're going to run 3 Wrench Minds. Last but not least, Infernal Tutor hardly made the deck, but because we're going to be dropping most of our hand, because a lot of the spells in here are 1-drops and 2-drops, yes, there is about, 16, 17, 3-drops maybe? But the rest are 1s and 2s. A lot of 1s. Verduce, Infernal Tutor. Reveal a card from your hand. Search your library for a card with the same name as that card. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. This would be great for like Geralt's Messenger. Imagine having 2 of those and dropping them back-to-back turns. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, we're going to devastate the opponent. And with the Menace, and with the... I mean, the list goes on. If you have no cards in hand, instead search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. You could even wait a little bit, save this card for when you have spent everything, and then you can search your deck for maybe that Death Baron. And that's going to really devastate. Or there's another card in the sideboard which you can make good use of this. So that is that. There's only one. That's the main deck. Now let's get into our sideboard, shall we? Sideboard, we got Blackmail. Target player reveals 3 cards from his or her hand, and you choose one of them. That player discards that card. Maybe we need a little more discard advantage. Dark Salvation, XX, and 1 swamp. Target player puts X 2/2 black zombie creature tokens onto the battlefield, then up to 1 target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn for each zombie that player controls. That is nasty. We're running 2 of those in the sideboard. Blood Artist, we're running 1. Whenever Blood Artist or another creature dies, target player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So that is a little bit of lifelink, not really lifelink considered, but we're gaining life. Victim of Night, that's the one you can swap out with ultimate price. Destroy target non-vampire, non-werewolf, non-zombie. We have just 1 of them. Collective Brutality, awesome card. For deuce, escalate, discard a card. Remember, we can discard a creature and bring it right back. A lot of the times. Choose 1 or more. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose an instant or sorcery card from it. That player discards that card. Or target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Or target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Another way we can gain some life, which can help out with some other cards in the deck. Beseech the Queen, basically a tutor. Search your library for a card with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of lands you control. Reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. We're running 2 of those, because why not have a tutor? We can do some real good destruction here. Say the opponent has Planeswalkers. Hero's Downfall is a great route to go. Destroy target creature or Planeswalker. We're running 2 of those. Traitor of Get. Legendary creature, you monster, you. If only it was if only it was a zombie. It has a lifelink. That's the one I was talking about. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, which it's going to be dying a lot, instead exile that card and put a 2/2 black zombie creature token on the battlefield. We're going to overwhelm them. For 3, sacrifice another vampire or zombie. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on Kalidas, Traitor of Get. Pretty awesome card. Liliana's Reaver. 1 of these, Death Touch. Whenever Liliana's Reaver deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card, and you put a 2/2 black zombie creature token on the battlefield tapped. Another way to keep some control going. Liliana's Reaver, only running 1 of those. Same with Get. Call to the Grave. This card is just overwhelming. It's sick as hell. But because I like to kill him quick, turn 5 might be quite a bit of ways away. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a non-zombie creature. At the beginning of the end step, if no creatures are on the battlefield, sacrifice Call to the Grave. So we're going to make them just kill off everything they have. Yes, we do have 1 or 2 creatures who are not zombies. That's okay, we'll live. Grave Titan. I just love this card. I've kept it in the sideboard, have not used it in actual play yet, except in other decks I've ran. It's 6 to bring out. Death Touch. Whenever Grave Titan enters the battlefield or attacks, put 2/2 black zombie creature tokens onto the battlefield. It's a 6/6. That is ridiculous. Completely overwhelming. But by the time this occurs, I mean, we already won the game. So that's why it's in the sideboard. If you guys have any suggestions or would like to maybe tweak the deck and offer me a little bit of tips here and there, I'd like to know what you guys think. I think this is a pretty beast deck as I use it. It's my #1 favorite deck I roll with. It's a bit more expensive, but it's a hell lot of fun to whoop some ass. Astronauts are in the sky. Don't forget that, guys. Astronauts are in the sky. All right. I love you guys. Hit the like button. And if you enjoy deck tech videos, and pretty soon I'll be playing MTG Go, make sure you hit the subscribe because you're going to want to come back for a little more. I think this is a really fun channel, and I like to express a little bit of humor in my Magic the Gathering, and I will continue to do so. Thank you for your guys' support. Thanks for watching. And as always, peace, love, and let's kill everybody. See ya.